What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Newage Michael, their version of a shattered glass Starscream. So I actually bought this for myself. Normally I get my Legends sent to me by others, but this one I was kind of curious. I thought it might look cool with Jetfire because he is kind of in Jetfire / Skyfire colors, but it's Starscream. So I just thought it was cool. Also, it's kind of a good guy. He's in the Shattered Glass universe. Starscream is actually a good guy. So I just thought it was a cool little thing. I decided to get it. I got it for a pretty good price. So here it is. Let's take a quick look at the jet mode. It comes like this. You got the red paint here on the wings and up here and on the tail fins. I think this is just red plastic. You got red outline here on the cockpit. I don't believe this cockpit opens. I think it's just one piece. From the bottom, you can see there's some paint. We'll see more in the robot mode. There are landing gear here. They're kind of weird to access. You have to lift up the foot here, and then you can kind of get a fingernail and open these up. You can see I opened that one already. And then the front one is kind of hidden. It's like right there. And I just find them not the greatest. They don't have wheels and they're just awkwardly placed, but it does sit on those. That's another thing. I'll talk about that later. But the wings are kind of like the Make Toys wings where they had multiple joints in them on the original release of the Seekers. So this one's kind of like that too. Their tolerance pretty well, but overall it's a nice looking jet. Now, of course, you have some accessories here. So number one, if you prefer the look with the null rays here, you can attach these on here. And I do think this looks good. They're colored in red instead of gray for the shattered glass look. So you can have that. And that looks nice. It does come with blast effects, so if you get these right here, they got a little pink gradient tip. Those will plug in there, and now you can have those blast effects as he flies through the air. It looks good. But if you don't like those, you can take those off and you can mount these on here. So this is more like the stubby missile look, which I think actually looks better in the jet mode. But it's nice that they give the option. You can have that kind of shorter missile. And we can get two of those. Now the blast effects don't work with these. So if you want the blast effects, you do have to have the null rays. But I think that looks pretty nice overall. And you also get a flight stand here. So it comes like this. These actually attach together to form, what is it? I think it was a base that actually would transporter. It was a transporter. Can't remember the name of it right now, but all the pieces come here on the bottom. You're going to take this, you can plug it in here or wherever. And you can take the flight stand and plug it in right here. There's a little slot at the bottom of the jet, and it'll fit right in there. And I can angle this kind of however you want. Probably looks best like that. You just want to tighten these up once you get it into the pose you want, but it really does look good on that flight stand. And it's cool that they, form together to make that base. I just think it's neat that they did that. Yeah, overall really nice. You can also come to the back here and you get these little blast effects done in kind of a translucent blue. Those will plug right into the engines here. So if you want him flying along and, having blast effects out of there, you can do that. Actually, you can actually have all of these weapons, so because there's another spot right here on the side. So if you wanted to have everything on there, you could. And I love when, companies do this. They give you the ability to kind of store all the weapons. And then, like I mentioned before, you can put the blast effects on here. So you can really just go all out with the weapons. I like that. I like that they, give you storage and ability to display it however you like. And for size comparison, there it is next to the Newage Skyfire. And of course, this wouldn't be a TM review without Skyfire to compare next to Starscream here in the Newage. And I will bring in the shattered glass version for the robot mode so you can see that. But they do look nice together. It is obviously a much bigger jet, the Newage Skyfire. And I always hated the landing gear. They always like to collapse in. But you can see he kind of comes up to about the middle of the backpack. Width-wise, comes out to maybe here on the wings. And, much shorter overall height. So it does kind of work for me, the size difference here and the scale. But again, this is the same mold we've seen for Starscream several times from Newage. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his robot mode. It is the same transformation as usual. So I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it in fast forward. So for me, it'll be a few minutes, but for you, it'll be just a few seconds. So let's get going. All right, and there is Michael in his robot mode. And actually, I forgot to mention something at the beginning of his review. They also used the name Michael for their version of Omega Supreme. So I'm just kind of surprised that they reused the name or chose the name Michael for this guy. But anyway, he looks really good. You got some nice paint. I'll just kind of go over. The face is done in silver with metallic blue eyes. Yeah, the translucent blue with the red for the cockpit that we saw earlier. Black, silver paint, and then red here, white paint and red paint for the crotch area. They do have the extra little bit of cockpit here on the crotch, so it looks like one piece even though it's two pieces. Black paint here on the knees and on the shins, and then red paint there. You have die-cast gunmetal for the feet or the heels. Here's the back, pretty clean overall. Now, he wouldn't really be Starscream without his null rays here, so let's get those in. Those just plug in. And based on the way I had it in the jet mode on those same tabs, you probably could have just left them for transformation. But it would have been a little bit problematic, so probably better off removing them. But there you go. That looks much more complete. And let's go over his articulation. So the head is on a ball joint. It gets a little bit up and down, not a lot. Rotates side to side. And you get a little bit of side-to-side movement. Shoulders are on a ball joint, so it rotates around up to there. You get a little bit of butterfly. I don't really like that this doesn't lock in. I wish I had like a little peg. So this shoulder piece tends to fall down as you're messing with it. It just needs to be like a locking point or something. Rotation at the elbow. Single jointed elbow gets you 90 degrees. If you rotate the arm out and you kind of cheat, you can get a double jointed elbow, but then it just is weird. So it's really a single jointed elbow. The wrists can rotate because they're on a peg. And later I'll show you some alternate hands that he comes with. For the hips move out of the way. Actually, before we move on to that, you have waist rotation here. And you have ab crunch, which is actually in the middle of the crotch. And it's kind of loose. I mean, it's not loose, but it's loose enough that it's kind of annoying because you don't want to engage it and then it engages. So I do kind of wish that locked in a little bit better. But you do have that waist rotation and ab crunch. Hip skirt will move out of the way, allowing the leg to go up to there. And again, there's die cast here. So it works. It's just, it feels a little bit on the heavy side. Out to the side, yeah, that's too heavy for that direction. That could probably use some kiki, at least in that middle joint there. Rotation at a cut joint at the thigh. Single jointed knee gets you 90 degrees. Ankle tilt toe tilt back and forth, no pivot for the ankle back and forth. For the accessories, you get some of the same stuff you got before, but obviously in different colors. So we get the Megatron gun here, done in SG white and black. The black is painted. And of course you can hold this. You can actually put this in the jet mode too. I forgot to show you that, but you can mount this underneath the jet mode and you can fly along with it. But here you go, you can shoot Megatron, although I guess since he's an Autobot, he's going to shoot the Decepticons with Megatron. I don't know. Anyway, you also get a set of swords, which are new, I believe, for this character. So it's translucent blue with a painted red handle, nicely sculpted. And of course, those will fit in the gripping hands here. You can kind of put it all the way in. It's just it's a tight fit due to the paint, but it will go in there. And it's a good looking sword. I don't see any space or spot to kind of store these somewhere. I thought maybe it'll do this. I don't know. No, it doesn't. So I don't see any spot to store them, but they're very good looking swords, and I kind of like how it looks. With those, I think that's the look, you know, for this guy, for this character. You also can still use the blast effects, so these ones, they'll still fit obviously on the null rays, and you can shoot people with that. And you can still bring in the flight stand here, and we're going to take off the peg here, just untab it from here. And you're going to attach, not this, but this right here, which has kind of a gripping claw. And we're going to attach this here. And you can take that, put that around his waist, kind of put that together. And I noticed this one doesn't hold all that well compared to the other one. Like it kind of gets loose. But you can kind of have it on the stand. You can get it into like a whatever sort of flying pose. But this one, it needs to be a little bit tighter. But there you go, he can use a flight stand. And we also get some alternate hands here. So if you take this one off, we get kind of open jazz hands for some expression. So he can be doing this or whatever. That looks good. And you get the pointing hands. I haven't even taken them off the runner here, but you can use these if you want as well for pointing. And I think we've gotten those before, so that's not anything new. And by the way, you can still use this blast effect on the feet if you want him kind of like flying pose or whatever. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the shattered glass version of Jetfire from Newage as well. And what a contrast in the colors, right? By the way, the ears and the arm cannons that I have on him are from New Supply. So if you're interested in those, you can hit up newsupplyfx.com. You can check those out. But I do like how they look together. I mean, it is kind of a weird universe where, you know, Jetfire's a bad guy and Starscream is a good guy. But I don't really know the comics all that well, so I'm not really sure how they interacted, but or if they interacted at all. But I do think it's kind of a cool combo here. So final recommendations on the Newage Michael. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I'm going to recommend it. I was hoping this was slightly changed or improved in terms of the mold. And I've looked at this mold several times, mostly from G. Tony. He keeps sending these, but a few others. And it's the same issues as I had before. You know, loose joints on the hips and the ab crunch. And then at the shoulders, you know, just the fact that this doesn't lock in place. And you can see I have it in a nice pose here, and he's holding it. It's just irritating to get it in that pose because those things move around on you when you don't want them to. So that's something I wish they would have improved. But other than that, I think it's really good looking. They did a nice job on the paint, nice accessories. Overall, you know, the right accessories. I like that they added the swords. And it fits in with your New Age shattered glass look if you're collecting shattered glass from this company. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.